Booktube. I'm going to share the mid-year freak out book tag, which is quite exciting for me because this is actually the second year I'm filming this tag, which for some strange reason I just find very exciting. Of course, I'm not the inventor of the tag, so as always you can find all the information down below. The original tag, the creator, the questions, all of that good stuff is in the more info bar if you are interested in doing it as well. So before I start to ramble about things that have nothing to do at all with what the video is supposed to be about, let's just get started with the first question. So the first question is, best book you read so far in 2017. I don't have a lot of fantastic books this year, but those that I loved, I really loved. So it was hard to narrow it down to just one book, but I ended up deciding on The Smell of Other People's Houses, and it was so wonderful. It's such a quiet book and it's relatively small, maybe not even 300 pages, but it just really packs a punch, and you don't really notice how much of an impact this book has with you while you read about this group of Alaskan children growing up during the time when Alaska became a state of the United States of America. But the writing and the way the story is told is just really so wonderful, and it really just sucks you into the life of those kids you're reading about. And I wasn't even sure if I liked it while I was reading it, but the moment I finished the book, I just kept on thinking back on it, and it just was so wonderful. I really connected to the characters. The writing was fantastic. I loved how quiet but impactful the story was told, and it's a wonderfully great book. And if you have not yet read it, please go read The Smell of Other People's Houses. It really deserves every reader it can get. The second question is, best sequel you have read so far in 2017. And for me, that is Traitor to the Throne. This is the second book, hence that is featured here as the sequel. This is the second book in the Rebel of the Sand series or trilogy. Not completely sure how many books there are going to be in this. I really enjoyed the first book, but it was a bit too fast and too action-packed for me, so that sometimes I got a bit lost in everything that was happening so fast and so wildly. So I really appreciated that the second one slowed down a little bit. We still had a lot of development happen in this book, and I just loved how the character developed throughout the story. And I think that the author did such a fantastic job with the second book, even though quite a few people didn't really love this as much as the first one because it was a bit a slower read. For me, it just really worked and it was perfect and I loved it, and I cannot wait for this third book to come out. The third question is new releases you haven't read yet but want to. Two that I really can't believe I haven't read yet are one, Coat of Wings and Ruin, and the other one is Waking Gods, since those are the sequels to books I really loved last year and could not wait to get my hands on. Especially with Waking Gods, I got an e-arc of that. And I still haven't read it. I don't know what is wrong with me, but I am so excited to finally have this and finally getting to Waking Gods, so that will happen very soon. Fourth question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. The one I'm really quite excited about reading soon is Sing Unburied Sing, which is about a drug-addicted woman that packs her children into her car and flees her home when the father of the children is released out of prison, since she would rather face the unexpected of not knowing where they would sleep or what they would eat or how they would get money instead of having to face that man. It's a historical fiction set in the US. It's a book that is set to show the ugly truth of America, the power and the limitation of the bonds of family that finds a great balance in between racism and love, and I cannot wait to see what I think about this. And the fifth question is biggest disappointment, Life in a Fishbowl, which is one of those books where I just cannot believe it was actually published, which sounds horrendously mean of me, but it's a book about a girl and her father when her father gets sick with a tumor, which doesn't sound as bad, but we actually get really badly written sections that are told from the perspective of the tumor, which is just, it's even worse than it sounds. I felt as if the author made fun of anybody that has a brain tumor or any kind of illness at all, which is just horrible in my option. So that one was really bad to me and for me, and I would not at all recommend that. It's not my kind of humor if that is what the author was going for, and it just did not work at all, and I think it is one of the worst books I ever read in my life. And the next question is biggest surprise, and if you watched the last few videos of mine, then you will not be surprised by my biggest surprise book, and that is It Ends With Us by Colin Hoover. I shared already how surprised I was to enjoy a Colleen Hoover book or actually think it is worth a read or recommend it to anybody. But I just think that this is one of the best books that features an actual realistic portray of abusive relationships and how you can get out of them, and this was wonderful, and I will have to get my own copy of this book very soon, probably reread it this year. So that was a huge surprise for me, but a wonderful surprise for me. Favorite new author, and for me that is one I have not yet talked about on this channel, I think, and I wouldn't necessarily say that she's my absolute favorite new author because she only wrote one book so far, and I need more to say that she's my favorite author. Definitely a new author and one I cannot wait to read more from, and that is Angie Thomas. She just stood out to me in how she wrote this book and how honest it feels, and how she actually managed to write this wonderful representation of a big issue that we are currently facing in the world, and she didn't hold back. She clearly showcased the issue in honest and real life portrayal of it, and I think that needs to happen more in books. And as you guys can tell from this video, I really just enjoy books that are good representations of something, and I cannot wait to see what Angie Thomas will do in the future. And if she continues on with this type of storytelling, she will definitely become one of my favorite authors. The next one is newest favorite crush, and I don't actually have one of those this year, but if you have any books to recommend with that kind of character, please let me know in the comments below and I will definitely read those. Newest favorite character, and I think that one goes to Newt from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I just really loved how wonderfully nice he was toward those creatures and beasts, and how much he cared about them, and that he really was wonderful to them. We got those moments where the beasts showed their love for him as well, and I think that is really showcasing how wonderful he is to animals. If you can see that the animal shows that person love as well, you know they really care for them, and it just was wonderful to see in a book. I cannot wait to get more of him in the future. The next question is book that made you cry, and another one that I don't have an answer for. So far, no book made me cry. Book that made you happy, and for that, the first book, or actually series, that I just really enjoy and love and always makes me smile and happy and just makes me really happy to read, and that is Love at the Chocolate Shop series. And I just really love all the books that are out by those. I read quite a few of them. They are just nicely done, and it made me grin for no reason whatsoever other than it's just cute and nice and fluffy, and all of those are not really descriptions of books. But if you have not yet read this book series and you enjoy the fast and easy but still substantial and entertaining romance reads that are a romance but also have other stuff, and I highly recommend it. Most beautiful book you bought so far this year, and that's such a hard one because I got quite a few beautiful books this year. The one that always stands out to me and I always love when I look at it, and that is Traitor to the Throne, even though I already showed this and I don't really want it to feature one book twice. This is just such a beautiful cover, beautiful in the art itself. It fits the story so well. It really, this cover art was made by somebody that read the book and loved the book, and I love when that happens, when the person that designs the cover art really cares about what the story represents and tries their best to represent what the story is about. It's a beautiful book, it's a beautiful cover, and once again, highly recommend the Rebel of the Sand series. What book do you need to read by the end of the year? The one I really want to finally read is The Crimson Petal and the White. I just wanted to read this book for over 10 years. I finally bought it at the end of last year so that I could read it in 2017. So I want to finally do that. And it's not the size of the book. I don't mind big books, but it is just that I have been wanting to read this book for over 10 years now. So I have such high expectations going into this book that I'm so hesitant to actually pick it up and read it. You know, if you have that high of an expectation for a book, most of the time you will bit disappointed, and I don't want to read this type of book and be disappointed by it. So, and the last question is favorite book community members. We are sticking to BookTube here. Today I'm only naming 6 people that I watch most videos that they're uploading. That is Books and Lala, Books with Emily Fox, Melbourne on My Mind, The Big Head Bookworm, Kate Howe, and Beyond the Pages are all people I turn to if I feel in the mood to watch videos. They are all wonderful ladies. They make so different videos, so entertaining, rooting to watch. All of them are always so happy and make you feel happy, and they're just wonderful. So if you, for some strange reason, have not yet watched any of those 6 wonderful, lovely ladies I just talked about, I will link them all down below so you can just click on through and enjoy. I will be doing a video about all the booktubers I love and watched and discovered throughout 2017 in the near future, so look out for that if you're interested. I would really enjoy hearing your favorite book of the year so far, as well as the book that made you guys happy, because I love hearing about books that make people happy, because I always want to read those. So please leave those titles in the comments and let's chat there a little. I would also really love to get some booktuber recommendations, so if you have any wonderful ones that you think I would like, please let me know those in the comments down below as well. Or if you have a booktube channel, please let me know that as well so that I can check you out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you all have a wonderful day. I hope to see you in my next video, and until then, in the comments down below. Bye!